If all the information you ever needed to change your life is already online, then why are people still broke? Why are people still stuck in the same cycle? Watching video after video, scrolling through TikTok, saving posts, taking screenshots, and never actually moving forward. Every answer you could possibly ask for is already on YouTube, Reddit, or Google. But the truth is, information alone does not make you rich. Information alone does not build freedom. Information without structure is just noise. And that is why most people are drowning in free advice, but still broke, still lost, and still waiting for life to start. When I first came to America, I thought information was the key. I thought if I could just learn everything, I would figure out the system. I watched tutorials, I read blogs, I studied credit repair, money management, investing, VA benefits, you name it. But guess what? I was still broke. I was still behind because I did not have structure, I did not have order, and I did not have mentorship. It took me years to realize that free information is like giving someone 1,000 puzzle pieces with no picture on the box. You can spend your whole life trying to fit it together and still never see the full picture. That is the trap most people are in right now. They think consuming information is the same as building skills. They think scrolling equals progress, but it does not. Most people do not need more information. They need a plan, a system, and someone who has walked the road before them to say, start here, do this next, avoid this mistake. Without that, you are just running in circles. Let me tell you the truth that no motivational video will tell you. Knowing is nothing without doing, and doing is nothing without direction. I see people watch hours of military benefit videos, how to get VA compensation, how to use the GI Bill, how to build credit, how to invest, but they never apply it correctly. They hear the words, but they do not understand the order. And in this game, order is everything. The order of your decision can make the difference between freedom and frustration. When I first got out of the US military, I thought I knew how to file for VA benefits. I had watched the videos, I read the posts, I downloaded the form, I filed the claim and got a low rating. Most people will stop there. I did not. I learned how to appeal. I learned what evidence actually mattered. I learned how to use DBQs, how to get nexus letter, how to document correctly, and how to speak the VA's language. That is when my life changed. I went from 60% to 70, then 80, then 90, and finally 100% permanent and total. I learned the hard way that information is just the map. You still have to know how to drive. See, people think that because everything is on the internet, they do not need guidance. But the internet is not a teacher. It is a library. It won't tell you what to read first, what is outdated, or which advice will actually get you in trouble. It just throws everything at you. Without a system, you will drown in the noise. And that is why people who say everything is free online are usually the same people who are still stuck years later, still repeating the same mistakes. It is like the gym. Everyone knows how to lose weight, right? Eat clean, lift weights, sleep more. But if it were that simple, the world wouldn't be full of people watching fitness videos every day but never showing up to the gym. You don't need more knowledge. You need accountability. You need someone who will show you what works, who will hold your hand, when to apply it, and what to ignore. That is the missing piece of every free advice model: accountability and structure. Let's talk about the military world. Everything I teach on this channel is public information. You can Google VA benefit and see the entire list. You can Google BAH rates and see the amounts. You can search how to get a security clearance and find instructions. But why are most veterans still broke? Why are they missing out on benefits? Why are they walking away from thousands of dollars every month? Because they do not have structure and they do not know how to connect the dots. Let's take an example. You can look up BAH rates online. But if you do not know how to time your marriage before joining, or how to document dependence properly, or how to stack your savings during training, that information is useless. You can look up the GI Bill, but if you don't know how to use tuition assistance first and stack both benefits for maximum value, you are losing money. You can Google VA disability claim, but if you don't know how to build your medical evidence file correctly from day one, you will get denied or underpaid. Information is everywhere. Execution is rare. Here is another example. People love saying, I will just learn how to invest from YouTube. Great. You will learn how to buy ETF and index funds. But will you know how to budget while you are living paycheck to paycheck? How to budget for your specific condition for your specific situation? Will you know which account type fits your task situation? Will you know how to invest consistently through market ups and downs? Probably not. You will just learn buzzwords and feel smart. That is what the internet does. It makes you feel informed without being transformed. When I tell people about military school, some say, I can find that info online. And I always say, yes, you can. You can also find how to perform surgery online, but that does not mean you can operate. What you are paying for is not just knowledge. You are paying for wisdom, for structure, for execution, for community. You are paying for the blueprint, not the bricks. You can have all the information in the world, but if you don't know how to stack it in the right order, it won't build anything. I have helped people who have been sitting on their VA claims for years, or that don't even know how to claim their VA claim, too afraid or too confused to file. They had watched every YouTube video on the topic. They had downloaded all the forms. They just didn't know how to move. When I showed them step by step how to gather evidence, what phrases the VA looks for, and what to do before they even file, and how to appeal correctly, they finally got approved. Same information, different application. The difference between free and freedom is execution. You don't get paid for what you know. You get paid for what you do with what you know. That is the line that changed my life. When I start treating knowledge like a tool instead of a trophy, everything shifts. I stop trying to learn everything. I start focusing on learning one thing, mastering it, and applying it immediately. That is how I built my life. That is how I built wealth. That is how I went from nothing to stability. And let us talk about the people who say, I cannot afford to invest in learning. Really? They spend money every day on things that bring no return. Fast food, subscriptions, entertainment, but hesitate to spend on something that could multiply their income or benefits for life. Let's say that you put $44 and I give you $4,000 back. That's a no-brainer math, right? You have to ask yourself, what is my return on investment? If you invest $44 a month to learn plays that could bring you $4,500 a month, that's free for life, is that expensive or cheap? The only reason people say it is expensive is because they have not done the math. They think small because they have been taught to value comfort over progress. When you look at the system from the outside, it seems complicated. Benefits, paperwork, claims, ratings, codes, processes. It is intimidating, but once someone shows you the sequence, it clicks. You see the patterns. You start stacking the benefits. You start building momentum. You stop surviving and start strategizing. That is the real cheat code. The military gives you the tools, but not the instructions. My goal has always been to give you the instructions to help you play the game better, faster, and legally. Let me put it this way. The internet gives you the ingredients, but not the recipe. You can have the same ingredients as a 5-star chef and still burn the dish. That is what most people do with their life. They have the tools, but not the recipe. They have motivation, but not plan. They have dreams, but no direction. That is why they stay broke, not because they are lazy or dumb, but because they do not know how to use what they already have. When I joined the US military, I have limited information about any of these. I didn't know much about BA age, clearance, or VA benefit. I learned it all the hard way, through trial, error, and time. That is why I teach this now. I don't want people to waste years figuring out what they could have learned in few weeks. I have seen veterans lose thousands of dollars because they did not know one simple rule. I have seen people leave money on the table because they did not file correctly. And the sad part is, the information was online. They just didn't know how to use it. So if the information is free, why are people still broke? Because information is not power. Applied information is power. Structure is power. Mentorship is power. If you don't know the order, you don't know the game. And that is where I come in, not as a recruiter, not as a salesman, but as someone who lived it, made mistakes, and learned the real plays that work. When you join the military blind, you leave benefits on the table. When you learn the game, you work out with leverage. The difference is not luck. It is knowledge, timing, and strategy. That is why I say the military is a cheat code nobody uses. Not because it is magic, but because it rewards those who learn how to play it correctly. Every month, I see people wasting opportunities. They work 3 jobs instead of leveraging one contract alone that gives them housing, food, medical, and education. They say they will figure out later, but later never comes. The system is designed to reward those who act. And if you don't act, You will keep watching other people collect checks while you collect excuses. I know some people will hear this and think I'm exaggerating. They will think it sounds too simple. But that is exactly the point. Most of the moves that change your life are simple. They are just hidden behind discipline, paperwork, and timing. That is why mentorship matters. Someone has to show you how to do the simple things the right way because they did it. That is what I try to do here. Every video, every breakdown, every story, it is not random. It is a system. I want you to stop playing life on hard mode. I want you to see that there is a blueprint. I want you to understand that joining the US military can be the foundation of your freedom if you play the game right. I'm not telling you to do 20 years in the military. You can do one contract and leave. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. I did what I'm teaching you. I only did one contract. You don't need another 100 YouTube video. You just need one plan and the discipline to follow it. When I built my school community, it was not to give people motivation. It was to give people direction. A place where people can learn how to make the right choices before joining, how to stack benefits during service, and how to maximize compensation after service. Step by step, no confusion, no guesswork. That is the difference between people who talk and people who win. I always tell people, the gap between broke and free is not years. It is knowledge applied in the right order. You could spend years trying to piece it together yourself, or you could follow a system that is already working. It is like watching two people dig for gold. One has a map, the other has a shovel. Which one do you think find gold faster? I don't want to be your motivational speaker. I want to be your map. I want to show you the route that took me from nothing to stability, from lost to free, from $0 to $4,500 a month that's free for life. And if I can do it, anyone can. The information was always there. I just learned how to use it. If you are serious about changing your situation, stop collecting random facts. Stop scrolling for shortcuts. Start building structure. Start investing in direction. Free will cost you more than you think because confusion has a price, and it is usually your time, your peace, and your money. If you want to stop guessing and start winning, the link to my school community is in the description below. That is where I break everything down. The contracts, the BAH plays, the VA increase process, the real scripts, the real templates, and the strategy that most people never learn. It is not about money. It is about freedom. So let me end with this. The information is free, but the freedom is not. You don't get paid for what you know. You get paid for what you do with what you know. If you want to learn how to do it the right way, I will see you inside the school community. The price will increase soon after so many members. Just click on the link and look at it and feel free to join the community. If not, keep scrolling, but don't complain when you are still in the same spot next year. Watch this video that you think that will be helpful to you next. Peace, I'm gone.